So I get the privilege of just sharing about working memory in this next section. And I'm not going to bore you with too much of the science of learning, but wanted to share this because I think it's important. So our working memory is sometimes referred to as our short-term memory, and it is for the brief and immediate recall of facts and information that you're getting at the moment. So it's brief. It's for the immediate facts that you're receiving. Working memory is what makes us different than other species that not other species, but really, yeah, really other species in the whole world. So different animals. So that's what makes us different. We have this working memory. The problem with working memory is that it gets overloaded too quickly. And for those of us who don't have this background, our working memory may already be overloaded with this information that I'm sharing. I know it was for me as I began to learn more about this and how it works in online learning. Our perception decreases the longer we have constant inputs. And one of the important things to note about working memory is that when we have too many inputs, really more than one, of information, our productivity goes down, our understanding of what's happening goes down, and that's a general rule. So a lot of times we think students may be able to do two things at once. That's not true. So one of the ways you can improve working memory is to focus on whatever the task at hand is. The less you know in the world, just overall in the world, the more challenging it is to hold on to working memory. And we're going to talk about why that is in a second. So just think about working memory as that short-term memory, the immediate info that we're getting. Some ways you can help your student leverage or improve their working memory, and really working memory is needed for learning, is to do just a couple things. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but the first thing would probably be down here, visuals. We are all visual learners. We all learn best when we see visuals, and working memory is linked to the visual. So it's important that if your student is doing something and they say, I need to just draw this out, I need to share this, I'm going to put this in a graphic organizer, that's important. Visuals help us understand the world. And the more we understand, the better we can learn. And that sounds pretty simple, but it isn't if you think about it. You have to know a lot to learn a lot. And it takes a lot to learn. The first thing is through that working memory. So that was a little bit of a bird walk, but just remember that the more we know, the better and easier it is for us to learn. So just something to think about as time goes on. Something else to think about in terms of improving working memory, and it really goes with all of these things, is that our working memory is best served when we do something with it. So if your student is learning and there's a sheet that goes along with it, that's why. If your student is watching a video and this teacher asked them to type in a comment, that's why, because the best way to learn things and to capture that information is to do something with it. So if you are at home and you notice a concept that's very difficult for your student and perhaps you'd like to help them out, one thing you can offer is to do something with the information they're learning. Explain it to you, explain it to a sibling, write it down, create a visual. Anything like that could help them understand the content and understand what working memory is.